Hey friends, we're doing an impromptu live with some very bad lighting here, but I have been posting a lot about our homeschooling journey. So if you don't know, I used to be a middle school and high school math teacher, and now that I am home with my own kiddos, I love to talk about homeschooling because essentially I love being a teacher, and now that I get to teach my own kids, it's just so fun to share with other moms. I love sharing the journey, not because I have it all figured out or because I'm just like the best at it, but just because I love teaching, I love educating, I love sharing that with other moms. I want to encourage you on the journey. But like, how in the world did I get from being a teacher to now I'm selling shampoo and talking about all kinds of things on the internet? Like, what in the world? If you don't know what the journey is, I just kind of want to share with you guys a little bit about like how I got here and where the vision of what I see this happening. I'm almost 38 weeks pregnant with my fourth, so we're really excited about that, and I have found a business that I can do while adding more children, while homeschooling. And it's just, I'm so passionate about sharing with other moms because I know there are people that were like me that were praying for and looking for an opportunity like this. I had my first son in 2017, and I had to teach 5 years in a school district to get my loans forgiven. So I still had 2 more years to go after he was born. Had no family near me, had to take him to daycare, which was just like absolutely crushing to me. I keep having all these like time hops or whatever come up on Facebook of just like this day 7 years ago, this day 6 years ago. And it's just like, I see those pictures and I remember exactly how I felt. Like, I get emotional looking at them because I just remember it just being the worst feeling. I don't think that you're a bad mom if you have to take your kids to daycare, but that isn't what I wanted, and I felt like a terrible mom. Like, I remember just feeling like the worst taking my kids to daycare. I'll never forget the feeling of when I took my son. He was like 3 months old, right? He was born in April. I went back to work in August, and just like laying him there, and I just like laid him on like the floor. They just had him like laying there on the ground and just like walked away. And it just like, I will never forget that feeling. I walked into work and one of the secretaries said, "Hi, how are you doing?" And I just started like sobbing. I was like, "I don't even know you that well." I just started like crying and telling her how hard it was. But that whole year, you had a great job. Loved my job. I would say it was my dream job. But we got pregnant before we were planning, and so that was not in my plan at all. But he was just sick that whole year. I mean, that whole year, it was just, I didn't have enough time to take off, and he was always sick. He had 8 ear infections in the first year of his life, so the pediatrician just kept giving me antibiotics, and it was just such a horrible experience. The antibiotics would clear it up, and then he'd have horrible diarrhea and then terrible rashes, and then we'd get through the antibiotics and it'd be back. And he eventually got tubes, which really didn't stop his ear infections, but you know, at least they drained, right? Like, he wasn't miserable and he could sleep a little bit better because his ears were draining versus the pressure being in there. He just slept to a terrible because he was always sick. But just such a horrible year. I ended up getting pregnant with our second, being able to take, a long maternity leave that second year. I had to be teaching and taking him to daycare, and then just had to take my daughter for 1 month to finish out that year. Then my 5 years were done. So during those 2 years, I remember just like Google searching on my lunch break, and just like anytime I had free time, what kind of work can I do from home, and using my math degree. And so I thought through some things like, maybe I could tutor math from home. I can make good money tutoring math. But we were not sure where we were going to stay long term. And I just thought, how do I build up a clientele? And then, what if we move and things are different? And like, just seems like a lot of uncertainties, we'll be able to be, a consistent income, and just looked into a lot of things. I didn't really want to teach, like I could do VIP kids, which was like teaching Chinese to kids overseas, and you could do that online, but like, I didn't feel excited about that. I looked into, I'd never really wanted to babysit other people's kids. Maybe that sounds terrible, but I was like, I like my own kids, but like, if I'm going to be home with them, I want the freedom to do whatever we want to do and not be like tied to someone's schedule. I have to be at my house from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or whatever. And I love my kids, but I just did not want to just babysit someone else's kids. So anyways, I stumbled upon a bookkeeping course taught by a CPA. You could buy this course and do a bookkeeping business. I thought, what, that makes sense. Gets my math background, and, it's a work from home job. So jumped into that this summer before my last year of teaching. I worked super hard on all my son's nap times, did tons of work. So I invested all this money, did tons of work, took me about a year to be able to pay our family back for what I invested in that. And this was a small investment compared to a brick and mortar business. Okay. If you're going to do a brick and mortar business, you're talking like 100,000, or you want to get into real estate or something residual, right? You're talking a lot of money in. So this was a very small investment to start a business, but it was still an investment to start a business, right? Okay. So, I bought the course from the CPA and learned all about bookkeeping. I had to get my LLC, had to get a laptop, had to, get my QuickBooks certification, all those things. Okay. And then it was trying to find clients, right? So I started posting on social media, and terrible posting, right? But I just was like trying to get myself out there. And that is my biggest advice to someone. If you're trying to start, you just got to like start. Okay. Even if you're not perfect. So it was going well. I was starting to grow it, and I was able to quit my teaching job and be home. But I wanted it to grow more. And then COVID hit, and I lost 2 or 3 clients. Because essentially their businesses were just shut down. They couldn't pay for a bookkeeper. And then there was nothing to get in person. No networking events were in person. I just had I wasn't sure how to grow my business. So here I was, a year after quitting my job. I had this bookkeeping business, but I just was like, I don't know where to go. I just felt very lost, not really sure how to grow my income. So my friend said, hey, why don't you follow this gal I follow? She talks a lot about business stuff. So I followed her friend, and she was posting business stuff. It was helpful. And then she was also posting stuff about hair and her split end mender. And I was like, yeah, I have split ends. I just casually voted on her polls. And we started talking about this hair care that she uses. And if you don't know, my mom died of cancer, my grandma died of cancer, and my sister is a cancer survivor. So during all this time, I'd also kind of been trying to get cleaner products into our house, realizing I was about to turn 28, and my mom was 38 when she died of cancer, and there are carcinogens in so many of our products, okay? So this is a bigger thing. If you see my posting now, I talk a lot about holistic stuff and homemade and homemaking and homesteading because of that background, right? I realized how much stuff was in our products and our food that were carcinogens, and I was really cared about that. So I was just kind of beginning that journey, and so she's talking about this hair care that's cleaner, that really works well, and I was a mom of 2 and under at this time. I couldn't work on my, I just didn't realize I used to be a collegiate runner, how much being fit and running had kind of become part of my, I look nice or whatever, I'm fit, and I didn't really put that much effort into myself. But now I'm a mom. I don't have as much time to work out. I got these dark circles under my eyes. My hair is not great. I've never been really good at taking care of girly things, okay? So not a girly girl. And so I just posting her and seeing her do all this stuff. She's raising her kids. She's homeschooling them. She has 4 kids, having a blast and making multiple times her teacher salary with a shampoo thing. And I was intrigued. I was like, this is what I want. I just remember that feeling of this is what I want. She's having fun. She's being the mom she wants to be, and she's making money for her family. I was so intrigued. Okay. So I'm looking into I'd like this hair care for myself. And then I see the business opportunity. I'm this is really just a no-brainer because there's no requirements to keep purchasing, no inventory. Literally putting myself out there was the only thing I had to lose, right? I was just why would I not try this? Okay. I'm a business person. I'm already showing up online. I'd gotten most of my bookkeeping clients online, even though I was terrible at posting. And so I was there has to be something to say for this company is young. This company has a product nobody else has. It's residual, right? People are always washing their hair. I'm not a fancy gal, and I'm interested in the products. It's cleaner. I know a lot of people are interested in cleaner products. There is something here. And I just remember feeling that big feeling of there is something to be said, that this is going somewhere. I can see that this is going somewhere. And so I just jumped all in, and I struggled with a lot of insecurities when I jumped in. A lot of things I wish I could go back and just be why was I so scared? Or why did I care so much what people thought, or all of that? But I literally just got off multiple training calls today, but one that is really short one from Joe Siegel, and she was just talking about how money is really a personal development plan with a compensation plan attached. And I just can't even tell you how true that is, how much money I've had to grow since doing this business, and what a blessing that has been. It has changed how friendly I am to people when I go out and about. It has changed just so much of how I show up and being confident and who God created me to be and what I'm passionate about and things like that. And that's like outside of the money, but like I get to make money. And as I'm doing that, I'm growing as a leader and as a person. And I just like, I love that. I'm obsessed with that about this business, that no matter what money you make, if you're willing to put yourself into it, you are going to grow as a person. And that's such a blessing. And I will just say that I have stayed now, right? I don't need the money like I did when I started. When I started, I was like, I wanted to be out of the house that we were in. We didn't live in a safe neighborhood. We just did not have the income at the time. We have more income now, but like I have stayed because I see the impact that it can have on other women. I see what it can do for other women. And I'm just so passionate about whatever work I do, right? I felt this way with bookkeeping. Like I did work and people paid me, but like I couldn't really see the impact, right? Like basically people will hire a bookkeeper because they didn't want to think about their books, which means not that they didn't want to talk to me, but they were a photographer. They didn't care about the books, right? They just wanted me to just take care of it. And I just felt like all my work I've ever done, I always wanted purpose with it, right? That's why I chose to be a teacher and not an engineer. I got a degree in mathematics. I could have been an engineer and made 2 or 3 times my teacher's salary, but I wanted impact and I wanted it to matter to someone, right? And I felt like that with teaching, that it mattered what I did, that my job had an impact. And I feel that way so much with shampoo, right? Bookkeeping, I made an income, but I didn't have the impact. And that's something that I wanted. And knowing that my story was, this was not the mom I wanted to be. And now I have this thing to offer that women can be the mom that they want to be and they can make income. And I just see it all the time. I see moms who are stay-at-home moms now, and they're always trying to do all these different things to make money. And just, this is just the best option out there. Like, I'm just telling you that I can put my kids to bed and just sit down here and do a live and connect with women. I can take samples to people when I'm going to my homeschool group. I can connect with people at the park. Like, literally everywhere I'm going where I'm doing stuff that is valuable for me and my family, I'm connecting with women that need what I have to offer. And that's such a blessing. So it's got a little longer than I wanted, but I just want to say that my vision is seeing other women be home with their babies, seeing other women make 4 figures and more per month being home with their kids. My vision is earning our next family car, because I don't know if you know my history of cars, this crazy history of cars, but having a paid for, reliable vehicle is so awesome. And that's what I'm going to earn for our family, and earning trips for my husband and I to go on and helping other women earn those trips. But this weekend, I want to help 2 women hit our first rank, okay? So there's something really powerful about hitting that first rank. It's just something kind of like a mindset shift. It's making anywhere from $500 to your first $800, helping 6 people. So we talk about this a lot with Money, 4 plus 2, helping 2 people start their business, 4 people start as a customer, and you're going to make about $400 to $800. Plus, you get that bonus and all those things. So probably like $500 to $800 helping 6 people, okay? So if you're that woman, send me a DM. Let's talk about like what this business could look like for you, how you can do it authentically, how you can help those first 6 people and hit that first rank, and just really get some excitement and momentum going. It's August, but we know, Christmas time is not that far away, and whatever your goals are, I'm here to help you reach those goals, whether it be an extra $500 a month or whether you're like, I want to make, 4 or 5 figures. That's something you can do with money. So thank you guys for listening. I hope it was encouraging to you wherever you are in your journey, being home with your kids. And I would absolutely love to have a conversation with you. This business could work for you. So have a good night, guys.